Hey guys, Romie here. Yeah, so let's just jump right into this. Is the reunion for Basketball Wives LA Season 5, Episode technically 16. Now, I don't know if there's a part 2, but I don't really care, because this was good enough. We really don't need a part 2. Along with all that, we have the same foolery. We have the cast returning. Everyone is back here. But it would have been interesting to see if how Jackie would have reacted and behaved if the whole stuff with her daughter came out, you know, before the reunion aired. I mean, before the reunion was taped. That would have been interesting. And also, we know Duffey most likely won't be coming back. And part of that was actually addressed within the first 10 minutes. Because the fact that, and doing this a little bit out of order, Duffey, you know, Shawnee feels like Duffey didn't have much of a storyline. That's true. Duffey was a clinger on her. Regardless of what she really has going on in her personal life, we didn't see that. I think she actually went back to Dallas and work. And so, because of that, the cameras weren't going to go and follow her to Dallas. So we didn't see her. We did not see her work. We didn't see her work. We didn't see her with her relationship with her son. We didn't see any of that. All we saw was her clinging on to Brandy, her being around Malaysia sometimes, and her having issues with Tammy. So Duffy was trying to say, well, you know, I made your storyline. I'm thinking, no, Tammy's right. Tammy's been on the show for 6 seasons. Did both of you elevate each other this season with negativity? Yes. Absolutely. That's what normally happens on the show like this. It is what it is. But before that, we talk about Shawnee. We talk about Shawnee and Brandy and how Shawnee and Brandy... Oh yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. We talk about how Shawnee and Brandy constantly went back and forth with each other. The reality is neither of them cared enough to warrant a discussion. The issue was people kept bringing it back up to them, so then they would go and discuss it. And that's when it would become an issue. They both agreed that they didn't really feel each other like that. That Shawnee didn't even care about the thought of possibly entertaining the idea of being friends with Brandy like that. Brandy didn't care much about Shawnee. She just didn't like the whole being dismissed part. And Shawnee finally talked about the thing that a lot of people say about her. How, yeah, she does come off dismissive and it can be disrespectful. It's just that if she doesn't really care about you, that's how she is. We don't care. Enough said. No more from you two. Now we have good old Malaysia versus Duffey, because remember, Malaysia doesn't like Duffey, and I'm glad that they brought this up and made a segment all to its own, because Malaysia made it very clear that, here's the thing, I was only cool with you because the reality is that you're friends with my best friend. That's the only reason. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even put the thought of possibly trying to be your friend. And Malaysia's like, okay, Brandy, so you're supposed to be cool with me. You're supposed to be cool. You're supposed to be my friend. Because what Duffy said was irrelevant. All Duffy was saying how, well, you know, you came at me a certain way. And it was like, no, you were being shady and saying a lot of stuff towards me, but then acting like you didn't do anything. You were saying this, you were saying that, and people were catching it, but you wanted to go and act and put on airs and all of that. My issue is that it's not with Malaysia, it's not with Duffy, it's with Brandy. Brandy's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't know Duffy could be shady. I'm thinking, so how do you not know this if this is your sister? And they made fun of that as well. They're like, oh, how do you say it, Tammy? This is his sister. And it was actually Jackie that came up with that because Duffy didn't know how to say sister right. Well, she didn't say it right the first time, so they just kept going with that. And Jackie was a comedic relief this whole reunion. But aside from that one segment, the other issue is that this is where we find out, because it didn't look right. The chemistry seemed off with Duffy and Brandy. We know why now, because Duffy and Brandy haven't been together and seeing each other on a daily basis like the way that they had to for the show in years. Actually, that's incorrect. Ever. Because of that, now we have this situation of Malaysia's looking at this like, I know this chick, you're calling her your sister, but how are you doing that when you actually know me and you're saying you can read me reading my energy and all of that, but you don't really know her. You never seen this side of her. That doesn't make any sense. And then Shawnee was saying how, so shouldn't Malaysia be more so your sister? Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. We're all just wondering, how did this possibly come to be? Did this really happen because of a show? Is this really just for show purposes? Because that's not cool. We're supposed to pretend like, we're actually friends. Because, again, Brandy was being fake and pretending like, oh, Malaysia just, she needs her time, blah, blah, blah. No, Malaysia does not like Duffey. It's fine. They're two very different people. I've been saying this since the beginning. You know who else doesn't like each other? Angel Love and Duffey. Why? Because Angel Love and Duffey have very different communication skills. That's the main, again, the same thing. Duffey doesn't need to be back on the season because it didn't help her at all. It did not. Angel Love's just trying to say, so you follow Amber Rose. Well, okay, so how's that relevant? Yeah, Amber Rose is about empowering women and, you know, trying to stop the stereotype of a slut and all of that. Duffey's like, I did not call you a slut. Did I call you a slut? Duffey, do you think we're stupid? Do you expect me to be so dumb to not realize that if you're talking to me and talking to me in a certain manner and about certain topics, that you're trying to convey the fact that, well, you know, you are in music videos. Yeah, you do this. Yeah, you do that. I'm not calling you a slut. I'm not saying the slut word, but I might as well be. And Duffey's just like, no, 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 wrong, false, false. I'm like, am I listening to Donald Trump right now? And I appreciate the fact that Angel Love is actually standing up for herself and standing up to her. It's just like, I don't F with you. Don't talk to me. It is what it is. Yeah, you apologize for what you said to me that same day, and but I don't care because I don't like you. It's just like, well, if you don't like me, how come you're asking for advice? People do it all the time. You two are industry people. I know for a fact both of you have done that with people who you don't like. So let's not pretend that the whole concept of, okay, I may not really feel this person, but let me go and just cling on to them for a moment because I am kind of interested in this and kind of interested in that. And by doing so, I can elevate myself. I'm not really using that person, but I'm not bringing them along with me. I don't see what the problem was. Now, it was a little fake and phony when Angel Love was trying to backpedal and say, no, no, you didn't do anything for me. Duffey said, I have the text messages. Okay, maybe you did. Angel Love, I was here with you. I was here with you. I was like, no, no, no. And then she was like, yeah, well, I still didn't like you. I was like, okay, there we go. There we go. Clearly, Duffey thought something different. And then that's when Shawnee was shook, which was like, oh, this is the Angel Love we were hoping to see. We knew she was crazy. We just needed her to come back out. Reunion, that's what the reunion does. All of a sudden, Brandy decides she wants to interject because Malaysia was even saying, well, you know, Duffey, you do some Brandy was like, okay, stop. Why is it that you're trying to say that when I know for a fact that she apologized to you, that you two were cool? Why are you saying that you weren't cool? I'm thinking, Brandy, stop protecting someone who you don't even know. We just figured out you don't even know your sister. Your so-called sister, you don't even know. So why are you going to bat for her? I'm tired of these people going to bat for each other like that. And I'm glad that even though it wasn't much, because she really didn't need to, that Angel Brinks said something. Because that's where I'm like, okay, this is where you do come in and say, why are you even trying to talk about this situation when it has to do with your friends? It doesn't even have to do with you. She didn't say anything to you ever. So why are you now mad, pressed and upset? Malaysia's just looking at this like, this is a joke. I'm tired and over all of it. And then that's when Angel Love got up and just like, I'm blah, blah, blah. You say this, that. I'm not saying that. I don't like her. But that's what it is. And that's where the conversation should have ended. But you don't get up on these women. You don't get up on these type of shows and expect nothing to happen. So that's when Malaysia was like, regardless of the fake and phony and foolishness that's going on the other side of the couch, Brandy is still my best friend. It is what it is. You're not about to go and get the upper hand. I will drag you. I'm like, Malaysia, sit down. This does not involve you. I love you. You are my favorite person on this show. Have always been my favorite person on the show. This is the one time where you don't need to get up for Brandy. Just like how Brandy didn't need to go into interject for Duffey, because regardless of Duffey's voice being messed up because she had a show and all that, Duffey was still handling herself. But now we need the show. You can tell. So he's a good person to have on there. I like the fact that they balance it with a guy there. I think having another woman there, regardless of who she is, it wouldn't have been as effective. Well, then again, Brandy did say, stop! Excuse me. It's like, shut up. Like, not now. Whatever it was, some dismissive mess. I was thinking, Brandy, this is the one time I wish there was a female that was in charge of the reunion. To be like, who do you think I is? Because you know, as a man, he can't go too much. He can't really raise his voice going an octave. He has to keep it pretty even keel. That's why they hire the men to do the reunion on these shows. So they switch places, just like what I thought should have happened in the first place with Angel Love and Angel Breaks. So now Angel Breaks is right next to Brandy. Oh, Brandy and Angel Love are still arguing across. I'm thinking, this is stupid. This is pure and utter foolishness. Come on now. But it was really telling the fact that Malaysia was sitting next to Tammy the whole time instead of with her so-called crew on the other side. That speaks volumes. It should have been the two angels and Shawnee and Tammy, and then Jackie, Duffey, Brandy, and Malaysia. And in that order, because you don't want to put Malaysia next to Duffey, because we already know she doesn't like each other, like her. Now, we finally get to start to talk about Jackie, and it's like, Jackie, is there something you want to tell us? You know, Jackie was like, you know, I do appreciate the spirits every once in a while. Every once in a while? That's like me saying I appreciate food every once in a while. They're like, oh, so because Jackie's just like, well, you know, no, I am not a drunk. And I hate the fact that people are trying to paint that. I'm thinking, well, Jackie, if every time that you drink, you get really emotional and do some stupid mess, then what else are people gonna think? Okay. We'll backpedal a little bit. So, do you have any alcohol in your purse? It's like, no, I have tampon. I'm like, what? Some money, my black card, and my cell phone. Actually, my second cell phone, my burner phone. Like, burner? It's like, no, the phone I use to stalk the people who go and follow my husband. God, Jackie is a character. She is a character. She is truly a character. Now, here's the thing with the whole Jackie and Angel Love situation. Jackie feels like, you know, Angel Love not necessarily was using her, but, you know, took her status and everything that she brought to the table and took it for granted. I'm thinking, Jackie, you do bring something to the table, but the reality of the situation is you're almost talking the same way that Duffey talks. So we're definitely not going to be down with that. Angel Love already had a business and all of this established. She's on the show to try and bring more awareness to something that's already working. She does not need you. She does not want you. She's actually alluding to the fact that she may not even be on next season. Because it's probably the amount of new business that's coming in and the amount she's losing because she actually has credible people that don't want to be a part of the BS of the reality TV world, especially a show like this. It's probably equaling each other, which means that she's gaining no growth and headaches from being with this group of women. Malaysia jumps in because Malaysia's saying how, oh, you do talk down to us and you do say stuff. And this is where Angel Briggs said, well, I don't say anything on camera. I'm thinking, wait, did she just say on camera? So you do say stuff. But it's like, I'm nice to you guys, and this is why I don't feel like I should be on the show. I don't feel like you should be on the show either. You can... Actually, Angel Love can stay. She can stay, but she has to get a new storyline because she didn't really have much going on this season. She really was the friend of. Let's be honest. She was the friend of this season, and it is what it is. Maybe next season, if she's going to stay on, we can see what's going on. But it's always weird to see. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to be leaving, and I invite this person, but they're going to go and stay. Because that's the same situation with Drea. Drea invited Angel Briggs, and then Angel Briggs stayed on. So is Angel Love going to do the same thing? Who knows? But I didn't agree with that whole back and forth of, that back and forth. Because it's like, yeah, obviously Angel Briggs is saying stuff that we're not necessarily seeing. So she's not an angel. But it almost seems like you would respect her more if she would say that stuff to your face at all times. So that you at least know where she stands. Instead of, this is like, oh, she's trying to play the victim. Like, no. in some cases, I'm sure she is, but in other cases, some of you ladies do way too much. It involves her actual business life, her business, her personal life. Then we get to the serious stuff. The serious stuff being with, because remember, Jackie ripped her dress and all, like, a lot happened. We cannot discredit the fact that a lot happened. This is too much. It's too much. Too much. And now we have Angel Brinks talking about her son, because her son, he's acting out and lashing out and doing all this stuff because he wants to look cool. He hasn't, the kids pick on him. The kids pick on him and all of that, and because he doesn't have a father, and she feels bad because he plays video games and stuff, and he sees that in the video game, the characters, once they're killed, they can come back to life. And he said, you know, Dad, she was like, Mommy, do you think Daddy will be able to come back to life just like in the game? I was like, oh my God, you don't need to be on the show. You have real stuff going on. And Shawnee's like, you know, clearly we haven't talked because I didn't even know you were going to bring something like that to the table. I didn't know what you were going to bring to the table, but I didn't know you were going to bring something actual personal to the table like the show is intended for. So thank you for doing so. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Now we have Tammy talking about her fertility issues. And Tammy, she does bring up a good point. We know that's partially what's been going on in the background. Tammy has the issues of she's not able to carry the baby full term anymore. That's what keeps happening. So now her and Reggie are looking at surrogates. Finally, because Reggie didn't want to go that route. I'm thinking, Reggie, this isn't your body. Who are you talking to? And Terry's like, you know, he's not going anywhere. I know, I got it. Reggie definitely isn't going anywhere. He loves him some Tammy. The issue is that I just hope, because Tammy, even on the Wendy Williams show, is like, you know, if I have to break up with Reggie because I can't give him what he wants, so be it. I'm like, oh, okay. Now we get to the Duffey versus Tammy part. Duffey's trying to clarify the fact that, no, I wasn't trying to insult your daughter or do all of that. I was just trying to give myself credit because it just felt like you were discrediting me. You're just trying to say, you know, oh, DJ Duffey who. Shawnee jumps in and says, here's the reality. I know people don't necessarily like Shawnee, but I hope that they appreciate what she said, where she brought up the good point of almost like the bosses, real bosses move in silence. You don't need to keep, because that's the thing that people don't like about Duffey. They don't like the fact that she constantly brings up the fact, it's like, I understand people, it's like, oh, well, what's wrong with a strong, successful black single mother? I'm thinking, nothing's wrong with a strong, successful, black, educated, single mother. The issue is, if you keep saying how you're successful, if you keep saying how you keep working with these people, I understand you feel like they keep degrading you, and partially they do. Let's not pretend that they're not, because I will give you that, because it's true. Sometimes they do. But the other factor is, they partially do that because you keep talking about how you do this and you do that. So then Duffey actually broke down what she does. Duffey, for the most part, in Houston, she works with developing artists, and she did go to college for a communications degree, so she is able to direct, she's able to edit videos, she's able to do all of that, and so I feel that's great. So shout out to her for actually having the education. Shout out to having all those people in the Rolodex for going and them calling her to get her advice on things. Shout out to all of that. But why do you constantly need to go and tell us that? That's what I really want to know. Why? We don't care that much. That's the truth. We don't care. And because we don't care, when you keep bringing it up, it's almost like, did we ask? ¿Por qué? No. No. We respect you. We respect the fact that you're actually working. We respect the fact that you're doing something different. But let's not say you're one of the biggest DJs out there. You're a successful DJ, but you're not one of the biggest. You're not no Khaled. You're not no Spinderella. You're not no Calvin Harris, David Guetta, like Afrojack. Do you want me to actually go down a list? No, because that's actually discrediting you. If you stopped bringing up this Serrano of what you do, then it would speak for itself. Maybe you should have actually shown us what you do so that we get it. Instead of you just hanging around your friend, doing stuff with your friend, not really doing anything or showing us anything going on in your actual life. And so now all we have to go off of you constantly telling us what you do and what you don't do. And even Malaysia was saying how the issue with you is you constantly keep bringing it up. Jackie felt that Angel Brinks thought that she was better than anyone else, even though, no, she doesn't carry herself like that at all. Duffey, she doesn't feel like she's better than anyone else, but she feels like she has to consistently validate her own stuff. I'm thinking, this is TV. This is TV! Regardless of what you say or what you do, unless you actually have Drake walk out into that stage, have Khaled, have all these people walk out into the stage and say, we F's with her, she's cool. They're gonna look at you like you're all talk. And it is what it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's the truth of the matter. It does not matter. At all. At all. Nope. Nope. And so while the fight was occurring, the reason why it escalated the way it did was because of the fact that Shawnee, as we saw, pulled on Tammy's hair. When Shawnee pulled on Tammy's hair, Tammy thought that she was being jumped. Because Tammy felt that she was being jumped, she thought that she had to go guns blazing and swinging. Now, again, we understand that Duffey was antagonizing the scene, actually went on for a solid hour at least. And so we just saw a very edited version. Do I agree with what Tammy did? No, I don't agree with Tammy even trying to go and possibly fighting with Duffey. Do I care that much? No, not at all. I sleep very well at night. Do I think that Tammy was doing too much when she was trying to run after Duffey afterwards? Yeah. But do I think that Duffey is the type to go, yep, yeah, I'll fight you, I'll do this, I'll do that. Again, Malaysia called her out because Malaysia doesn't like her. It's like, you constantly get buck with people. You do. You constantly get buck with people, and then when they get buck right back, because you're not expecting that, then it's like, oh my gosh, oh. This is the real world. In the real world, you can fight with your words, but if someone fights with their fists in retaliation, you have to understand, you can't be saying, oh, I'll fight you, I'll do this, I'll do that. Some people take the words seriously. Oh, you'll fight me? Bang! And then, I do agree, though, that it didn't make any sense. It's like, yeah, Duffey did swing on Tammy, because even though people were holding Tammy back, Tammy was still trying to lunge over Brandy and all. So I do understand why Duffey felt like, okay, I actually am in danger, trying to do something. And Duffey admitted she's not a fighter. She keeps doing all this barking, but she's not a fighter. She's not a fighter. She is all bark. She's not a fighter. She can't fight. That's not what she does. And so Shawnee's like, okay, this is cool. Well, you're so just like with your sister over there, but really with you, because you brought nothing to the table except for this foolishness. Your services truly are no longer required. We don't need you back next season. Duffey's like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be A1. We gonna be Gucci up in here. It doesn't matter. Regardless, I got it. And that's the thing. Tammy doesn't like Duffey because of what Duffey said in reference to Jazz. And again, kind of brought it up at the table. These are all things we didn't hear. It doesn't really matter because should Tammy try to fight Duffey? No. But should Duffey have continuously said, oh, well, I'm going to beat your butt, be in front of your daughter, oh, we can go right now? Who does that? Duffey, see, that's the thing. Duffey's not used to people who will actually fight. She's used to people who are just talkers. You can tell. Because that's why she's like, wait a minute, what's going on? I only said, no. To certain people, you only said is like saying, I will. All of it's stupid. I'm glad that it's over. It was a headache. Jesus. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I don't care what else happened. Forgot. Tammy said, well, you know what? Why don't we do this the official way? Why don't we go, I know a fighting promoter. Why don't we do a celebrity, okay. A charity, or we should say reality stuff. Anyway, a charity celebrity boxing match, and we can duke it out in the ring. And Duffey's like, oh, I'm good, let's go, whatever. Again, Duffey's all talk, because in the next breath, she's like, oh, well, you know, no, we don't have to do that. I'm not a fighter. This is not what I'm thinking. Duffey. Oh, Jesus. Oh, and then with the whole, it's like, well, you know, since you won't be on the show, you'll have more time on your hands, even though you already had a lot of time on your hands. And Duffy's just like, yeah, so what are you doing? Tammy said, yeah, well, I'm actually, she's just, Duffy's like, oh, you're doing another show? No, I'm doing a film. She's like, oh, well, that's great. Congratulations. That's stupid. Duffy is all